What a great way to follow up on first two holes. They're absolutely sensational. First hole was 110 metres at 2.9, followed up with 250 metres at 2.9. These holes, 184 metres at 2.49, 97 metres at 2.84, 300 metres at 2.3%, and another 272 metres at 2.06%. These are stunning results. They've got some high-grade intersections in them, but overall, this is telling us this is an extremely large, dispersed, big complex with grade consistent through the whole area. Absolutely nothing is wasted at the moment. A fantastic way to start off the program. All, again, non-radioactive, great assays, NdPr at 20%, sensational follow-up from the first two holes. Sure. Geology is an easy question. They're all carbonatite materials. So we haven't actually got to the boundaries of this mineralization at this point in time. The location of the drill holes are essentially all in the same pad area that we have. And I explained very early in the piece that we have restrictions geographically on top of the hill to areas in the ridge where we can get tracks and drill pads. So all these holes are drilled in very close proximity to the same area of that pad, but they're designed to go both north, south, east and west at various different angles. So you're looking at something that ends up looking like an octopus's tentacles drilling down into the carbonatite complex. So each hole at the bottom has about 100 metres of space between it, of lateral extent. So they're all at the same drill pad at the top, radiating down, looking at something like 100 metres between each of the holes at the bottom of each hole. So there's quite a large spread of mineralisation that we're seeing at the moment. Well, first of all, there's an exploration licence called EL0514 that covers 25 square kilometres. Inside that exploration licence, there's a mining licence ML0290. And over the top of that mining license, we have an environmental certificate for the construction and operations of a mining operation. So it's basically fully licensed from that perspective. The mining license allows us to do earthworking, allows us to do mining, allows us to do processing, exploitation of materials for sale. And the environmental license backs up that in terms of its certification for environmental and social impact assessment. So it's fully licensed. It's certified. At this stage, we know the mineralisation goes to 300 metres at depth at least, and it looks like it's going to go further and further. The lateral extent has not been found at this point in time. So some of these RC holes that we're drilling are pulling up short of the contact zones. When the RC rig moves off this pad to the north and goes to some other drilling areas, the diamond rig will come in and start coring those tails. With the target is that those cores will then go and find the boundary of the carbonatite complex and that breccia zone on the outside. So here's the odd situation here. We're actually looking for barren material. We haven't found it yet. We haven't found the end of mineralisation. This thing is a giant. So we will find it. We need to find it because we need to know where that boundary is. But we suspect around that boundary of the carbonatite, there's a low-grade breccia zone. So that's the first thing we're looking for. Then drill through the breccia zone into waste material. So we've got a lot more work to do to find the technical limitations of mineralisation. And the good story of that is there's just going to be a lot more mineralisation to be found. We've got a small sample of about 100, 150 kilos in South Africa at the moment. We're doing some CIDR tests. I've only just now signed the forms for a custom agent to import a 1-tonne sample through customs and quarantine on the East Coast before it's sent into Perth for our more extensive piloting work. So we would expect that those programs will have some initial results this quarter. We're certainly confident that in the second quarter, we'll have a flow sheet design and a more substantial information for shareholders and investors about the metallurgical recovery of this carbonatite giant that we're drilling.